UFC Fight Night in Vegas. Curtis Razor Blaydes has beaten everyone not named Francis Ngannou, a heavy favorite against Alexander Volkov in the main event. Now, Blaydes tweeted this on Thursday. FYI, if y'all were hoping to see a 25-minute stand-up war, you probably shouldn't tune into the main event because I fully intend on ragdolling my opponent. Just figured I'd let y'all know ahead of time. CBS Sports combat analyst Brian Campbell, a big believer in Blaydes.
At 29, Curtis Blaydes is aiming up to be maybe the most well-rounded heavyweight in UFC at the moment. Great wrestling background. 3-fight win streak has really showcased the improvement in his stand-up. Go Blaydes and go big. I'm talking to you, Hakeem. Go big, brother.
BC, thank you for talking to me. I appreciate that. Curtis Blaydes, third-ranked heavyweight, coming off a huge KO over former champ Junior Dos Santos, facing the 7th-ranked Alexander Volkov, coming off a win over Greg Hardy in November of last year. 3 seconds into round one, Blaydes goes to his signature takedown and gets it. He would control round one on the ground. Live odds following round one, Blaydes minus 1,100, going up from minus 440. Early in round two, both men trading punches. Volkov lands a few shots in the exchange. Getting busy, but less than a minute later, that kind of looks like a ragdoll. Blaydes gets another takedown, controls position on top. Now Blaydes an 1,800 favorite after round two. Late in round four, Blaydes starting to fade a bit, and Volkov gets the takedown. But in round five, Blaydes taking care of business. Has Volkov against the cage, gets another takedown to seal this one. 14 takedowns for Razor Blaydes, most ever in a heavyweight fight in UFC history. He earns the win via unanimous decision. He has now won 4 in a row, 8 of his last 9. 61% of the money on Blaydes at minus 440. See, BC told you to go big, told me to go big. That cashes. By decision, paid plus 450, and the fight to go the distance was some nice value, plus 275. Wild fight here. Match of a top 10 featherweights. 8th-ranked Josh Emmett won 3 of his last 4. All 3 wins coming via knockout. He's the underdog at plus 165. This is the favorite, Shane Burgos, 10th ranked in the division, 6-1 in his UFC career. He's won 3 straight. 15 seconds into the fight, Emmett goes in tight, looks to hyperextend his left knee. He said after the fight, he thinks he tore his ACL. 2 minutes left in round one. Shane Burgos attacking that left knee on Emmett. Emmett at plus 340 following round one. 30 seconds left in round two. Emmett and Burgos trading shots, but Burgos catches Emmett with a back fist. But Emmett came out strong in the 3rd round. Seconds into round 3. Emmett connects with a left, takes down Burgos early. Ground and pound. 2 minutes later, Emmett connects with another left, knocking down Burgos again in the 3rd. Some momentum for the underdog. 40 seconds left in round 3. Emmett with the right hook on Burgos. Emmett taking it to Burgos in the final round. The fight ends up going the distance. Emmett via unanimous decision with a big 3rd round, overcoming that knee injury again. Said he believes he tore his ACL 20 seconds into the fight. The dogs were barking in this one as Josh Emmett wins it, plus 165. 43% of the money was on Burgos, the favorite, at minus 195. If you had Emmett by decision, good for you. That paid at plus 450. Josh Emmett now on a 3-fight win streak. Raquel Pennington facing Marion Reneau in a women's bantamweight fight. Former title challenger Rocky Pennington's lost 3 of her last 4, looking to rebound in this one. Reneau fighting on her 43rd birthday. Looking to have herself a birthday, coming off back-to-back losses. In round 1, Pennington pressuring, lands a nice left hook. Pennington falling round 1, minus 350, entered minus 240, the favorite. Late in round 2, Pennington lands an elbow. Reneau fires back. Both start trading strikes. Here we go. Late in round 3, Rocky walking down Reneau, landing big punches, putting her stamp on the fight. You will not celebrate your 43rd birthday with a victory. Raquel Pennington takes the victory via unanimous decision Hope you had it at minus 240. Hope you had it also by decision that paid plus 100, so some good value there. And if you had the fight going the distance, good for you as well. Brian Campbell, Rashad Evans, the UFC Hall of Famer, telling you to take Raquel Pennington earlier this week on HQ. Brian Campbell and Rashad Evans also telling you to take Belal Muhammad earlier this week on HQ, facing Lyman Good in a welterweight bout. Muhammad's won 6 of his last 7 fights. Good 2-2 in his last 4, has 11 career wins via knockout. Muhammad the favorite at minus 130. Early round 1, Muhammad lands an elbow against the fence, then lands a head kick. Muhammad now at minus 240 after round 1. Late in round 2, Good backs Muhammad up to the fence, lands some bombs. Early round 3, Lyman Good landing a clean right that stuns Muhammad. Ooh, nasty. Late in round 3, though, Muhammad doing some work, earns a takedown, trying to get a hold of Good. Muhammad puts Good in the rear naked choke, and the horn sounds. Belal Muhammad wins via unanimous decision. Hope you had Muhammad. Maybe you had him part of a fighter parlay. Minus 130 on the money line via decision at plus 130. 49% of the money on Muhammad at minus 130 in this one against Lyman Good. First fight on the main card. Jim Miller, the veteran, making his 35th walk to the octagon, ties Donald Cerrone for most appearances in UFC history, facing Roosevelt Roberts. Just saw him 3 weeks ago, beat Brock Weaver via second-round submission. Early round 1, Miller catches the kick from Roberts, takes him down, secures top position. Then against the cage, Roberts scrambling, gets caught in an arm bar, and then just 20 seconds later, Miller gives full extension on the arm bar, and Roberts gives the verbal tap. 3 minutes, 23 seconds into the first round, it's over. Miller by submission at plus 400. This was an upset. 69% of the tickets wagered on Roberts in this one. Goodness. Plus 400 for Jim Miller, picking up his 18th career submission victory in the first round by armbar. With the win, Jim Miller earns his 21st victory in the UFC, 3rd most in UFC history. Time now to pack a punch. Welcome in UFC Hall of Famer Rashad Evans, a.k.a. Mystic Shad. You had Curtis Blaydes in this fight all the way through here. As we start with the main event, Blaydes defeats Alexander Volkov in a fight that went all 5 rounds. I'm not actually thinking here that this was going to go 5 rounds, Rashad. Blaydes said he was going to ragdoll Volkov. That didn't really happen, but he did control the fight. What did you see?
Well, I mean, he started out controlling and ragdolling him, but then he ran into a little bit of trouble. You know, Volkov caught him with a couple combinations, and he played a little bit more on his feet than he normally do, and it cost him a bit. And you know, you seen he got scared a little bit, and it happens sometimes. When I fought Thiago Silva, I was taking him down left and right, but then I got caught in a couple punches, and I had a scary moment. And it looked like Curtis had a scary moment too. But with 14 takedowns, you can call him Curtis Nurmagomedov with all those takedowns. He was like Habib's big brother out there. So, I mean, I really like Curtis right now for the heavyweight division, and it was a great win by him.
What does this mean for his heavyweight title chances?
Well, I think it looks good for him. You know, I think it gives somebody to, you know, put Francis in front of it and really just, you know, make those 2 guys fight it out. But at the same time, you know, we still have to see what's going to happen with GC and Stipe, because both of those guys are looking like they may retire. Who knows what's the result is going to happen in that fight, and that fight happens in August. So, you know, there's a lot still up in the air in the heavyweight division, but right now Curtis is looking like a top dog in that division. Yeah, Razor Blaydes, 14 takedowns, most ever in a heavyweight fight in UFC history. Co-main event, wild. Top 10 fight in the featherweight division. Josh Emmett defeats Shane Burgos via unanimous decision. Really good, entertaining, back and forth. Emmett, though, said after the fight he thinks he tore his ACL. Happened 20 seconds into the fight. Rashad, what does it say about his toughness to hang in there, go 3 rounds for the victory? My goodness, that's toughness on another level, because when I tore my ACL twice, and when you tear your ACL, it's something that you know when you did it, and your knee just does not feel the same. And to be able to punch with the power that he was able to punch with, it is just remarkable, especially when you don't have the balance that he would have if his legs were not compromised with the tore ACL and everything. So hats off to him. But I mean, that fight was just absolutely amazing by both of these guys.
Yeah, dude is an absolute beast, especially the mental aspect of that. You tear your ACL, you're like, man, I got to stick in there. All right, another successful fight night for UFC. What is your headline coming out of Saturday's fight night?
Man, I just got to think about the fight we just talked about, Burgos and Emmett. I mean, when you're lucky enough to be able to get to see a fight like that, because when you see a fight like that, you see both of those guys leave a piece of their soul out in that fight, and they're both going to have an imprint on each other for the rest of their lives. And that was something special right there. That's a rare 15 minutes you get to see. That's like a Hagler and Hearns best 15 minutes, the best 3 rounds of boxing. That is in that kind of caliber of fight. I was just thoroughly entertained and just thoroughly impressed by both of those fighters, and it's a shame that one of those fighters had to lose.
Yeah, it was a fun fight to watch for sure. All right, speaking of headlines, we've got quite the headliner next Saturday night. Dustin Poirier against Dan Hooker in the main event, a top 5 matchup in the lightweight division. Poirier ranked 3rd, Hooker 5th. Poirier fighting for the first time since losing in his bid to claim the undisputed championship against Khabib last September. Hooker, meanwhile, on a tear, winning his last 3 fights. Rashad, when you look at this fight, what do you expect to see when Poirier and Hooker clash in the octagon next Saturday?
Man, this is going to be fireworks. I mean, this is going to be one of those fights where it can be candidate fight of the year. And I'll say this right now, both of these guys are going into this fight with a little bit of heat. Dan Hooker's been going around talking about everything in his interview, saying that he can knock out Poirier, and Poirier's chin is a little bit suspect, and Poirier is not taking too kindly to that. So they're going into this fight with a little extra edge, and Poirier has not been as busy as Hooker. And Hooker, in his last few outings, especially fighting at home in New Zealand, now believes in himself at a higher level. So now he knows he's at the level that he can compete with these guys like Poirier. So it's going to be a big fight. It is going to be something to watch next week.
Rashad, good stuff as always. Appreciate the perspective here on CBS Sports HQ.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.